delay. You came and you paid, surveyed the property you made. Put in an offer you didn't have to say. I got it made for real. It's feeling like God in here. Bitch got that grace appeal. They stick with annoying, what else am I supposed to feel? Won't you come in, put your feet up, how you waiting here? Let me back up while you do you, I'm on NFL. Check my feng shui, I can rearrange, that's a chandelier. Get it show ready where you set it
but
up.
I ain't Instagram can take it with. This girl talking gotta make them feel. I'm something special, I ain't just a vessel. I found your word was my way to heal. Now I'm outside trying to spread the message. The devil dripping, he been causing wreckage. My testimony went from declining to the upper hand, finally gave me leverage. What I felt was a stretch, it led to agility. You were the balance, I needed stability. All the allure, spirit so pure, from Father to Son like the holiest Trinity. Open arms, I receive the blessings. In every lesson, hope to see progression. The more you lead me to community, the more I see a need for intercession. Gotta pray for.
I'll be your temple, I'll be your sanctuary. You can come dwell here. Won't you come and fill me? Jesus, have your way.
Good evening and welcome to the F.L.Y show, where the F.L.Y stands for First Love You. This is yours truly, Jazzy D Mills, and as you can see, I got a special guest on tonight. Say hi. Say hi.
Hi.
All right, now go have a seat. Y'all, he had to do his quick little cameo because he was not gonna rest until he was able to get on the F.L.Y show. I can't blame him because, people, they love the F.L.Y show. And if you don't know what the F.L.Y stands for, it stands for First Love You. And I want to welcome you back here to the F.L.Y show. To everyone that is returning back that's returning back. Again, welcome back. And for any newcomers that are joining here on the F.L.Y show every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I welcome you. Just to give you a brief overview about who I am. I am Jasmine D. Milledge, and of course, I am the host of the F.L.Y show, where the F.L.Y show stands for First Love You, where we discuss life issues, learning how to increase our faith, learning how to empower ourselves, empowering our beliefs, where we stand on God and who God is in our lives. And I am not going to be ashamed. I'm not going to hide from that. I believe in God, who is the head of my life, as they say in the Christian church. So if you know, I stand on God and I believe in Jesus Christ died for my sins. All right. But here on the F.L.Y show, we get to know people through their journeys. We talk about our testimonies. We share our thoughts and how we got to where we are. So I invite you to take a seat with me and go on this journey on tonight. And today is Thursday the 13th, February the 13th. So it is a day before the infamous Valentine's Day, right? And we do so many things, where a lot of people do so many things. They go all out for Valentine's Day. They buy these extravagant gifts. You see people, getting engaged, going on expensive dates, or whatever the case may be. But to my single people, or even to my married people, in a relationship people, we need to know that it is okay to properly love ourselves, not just because it's Valentine's Day. So tonight we're going to be diving a little bit deep into how to properly love you in every single season, and not just on Valentine's Day weekend, right? So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be exploring a consistent practice on not just a seasonal focus, because tomorrow is Love Day. Every day is Love Day. We're going to break down what it means to love ourselves in different seasons of life, whether you're thriving, whether you're healing, whether you're growing, or if you're just in your waiting season. Because truth be told, we ain't, just out here thriving and living it up and going for the gusto every single time, because it's not going to go like that, right? We have things that we go through. We have obstacles that we got to tackle. We have things that we face. We have life that we deal with. We have death. We have traumas. We have divorces. We have jobs. We have kids. We have spouses. We have home responsibilities. We got bills. Sometimes our bills be longer than our money at the end of the month. You know what I mean? If you feel me, say you feel me, right? So we just gonna, kind of break down how to love you in and out of season. Okay. So first and foremost, I want to know, In your opinion, why do people wait for certain occasions like Valentine's Day to focus on love? Not just for other people, but also to focus on self-love. Why can't we make it a consistent practice on doing something for ourselves more often than just, oh my God, it's February 14th. I'm going to buy myself something new. Why is it that we got to wait until this man-made, no offense, people, because I'm a girl, I'm a lady, I love the roses and all this other kind of stuff. But honey, you can bring me that on a Tuesday, on February the 20th, and I ain't gonna look at you sideways or none of that. You know what I mean? Because if we in this thing, if we're in a relationship, if we're married, or if we kicking it, we friends, and you just want to do something nice for me, and vice versa, I will gladly welcome roses. I will gladly welcome that little teddy bear. Gladly welcome any of that. Give me my favorite little snack, my favorite little meal, and we in there. So I don't want to, put so much emphasis on why we have to wait until February the 14th just to show each other love. We should be doing this on a consistent day. There is so much pressure in the society to feel validated by the external love via social media, seeing multiple relationships, thinking you got to buy all these extravagant gifts when in reality we don't know what real self-love looks like every single day, because we're so accustomed to this. I have a friend that called it a pagan holiday. We're so accustomed to this man-made day that, okay, you know, it's February the 14th. I gotta show some love to somebody. I gotta get my girl this. I gotta get my girl that. Now that's cute, but what are you doing on a consistency? When was the last time you gave yourself something just because? Answer that for me. When was the last time you said, you know what? I am going to do something for myself just because. I'm going to treat me just because. When was the last time you just said, okay, I think I deserve to go take myself out to eat. I deserve to go, for a walk. I deserve to go on a trip. When was the last time you did something for yourself? Just like, okay, this year I'm turning 40. Okay. No shame about my age. Don't judge me. I'm turning 40, right? So I had to come to think about, I've never been out of the country. I don't have a passport. I don't take trips. I don't vacation. I want to do something for me. I want to do something that's going to bring me joy. I want to do something that's going to bring me happiness. And no offense to my kids, they ain't going. You know what I mean? Because I want to be able to enjoy this moment, this time, my new season. I want to be able to be in the moment and enjoy my own company. Yeah, it may end up becoming a girls trip, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I still had to realize that I ain't did nothing for myself yet. I have not treated me in a special way like that, to where I'm doing something big or extravagant. I gotta find me something to do for my 40th. So everybody that didn't already celebrate their 40th, anybody got a birthday coming up, whatever y'all doing, drop them ideas in the comments, because your girl needs something to do. Okay. So I want to know, what do you think the difference is between self-care and self-love? What do you think the difference is between self-care and self-love? One thing I can let you know is, one is an action, the other one is a mindset. You have to learn and decipher which one is going to be your action and what type of mindset do you want to have when it comes to yourself. So in this new season, how do you love yourself in every single season? One, you have to know, we often like to look at things, when we're thriving, when everything is going well, and when we're on the up, when we're on the top of the mountain. Okay, my self-worth is tied to the achievements that I have. But what do you do when the season is not so high? What do you do when the season is not so, you know, when you're not getting all these accomplishments, when you're not getting all the accolades, when you're not getting, you know, whatever the case may be, what do you do in those seasons? What do you how do you feel about you when you're not on the mountaintop? How do you feel about yourself when you're not receiving all this love, when you're not receiving all this affection, when you're not receiving all the attention, when, ladies, let's be clear, when it ain't always about you? How do you feel in those seasons? Can you be that for yourself? Can you encourage yourself? Can you love yourself? Can you understand that you have to be grateful and you have to remain humble? You got to have humility and you have to have gratitude through every single season, you know, that you're going through. So it ain't just about, oh, okay, I'm gonna love myself because I'm doing well. I'm gonna love myself because it's a happy moment. You got to love yourself when it's your healing season. You got to love yourself when you're going through disappointment, when you're suffering through loss, when you're dealing with a heartbreak, when you're processing something that's not a quick fix, when you're not going to resolve the issue in the next 15 minutes, when it's not going to be, you know, when you're down in the dumps on Tuesday and you're thinking that Wednesday you're going to be up on the mountain. You're going to have to learn how to love yourself through every single season of your life. It can't just be, oh, okay, well, this, just like the other day I posted, I'm looking at my degree right now. I just finished my bachelor's degree in health management. Through that process, it was rough. Okay. Now, most people be, you know, maybe like, oh, okay, you go, yeah, you go to school, you know, da 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 da. Girl, school ain't hard. It ain't hard until you got a whole 5-year-old running around here. It ain't hard till you got a grown up, a grown child in college, another grown child graduating high school, and then a whole 5-year-old over here that's going to kindergarten. It's a lot to navigate. And then being a full-time, you know, being a full-time mom, on top of that, being a full-time employee and trying to go to school and going through, you know, the trials and tribulations just of life, period, you know, doing different things for church and, you know, just in general. It's like knowing that self-love is a process and it's not a quick fix. It makes you appreciate more time with yourself. It makes you understand that self-love is more about quality than about quantity, because we can give ourselves treats and all this other kind of stuff, but if you're not doing it with a quality mindset and you're not understanding, you're not looking at it as just, okay, well, I got to do this like it's just an action. You have to understand the dynamics of the mindset that you need for self love and self care. It ain't just no, like I said, it's not just a quick fix thing. And that comes with, I know we've talked about it, you know, for the last couple of weeks, but it's such a key and vital word. It also comes with the role of forgiveness, forgiving yourself and forgiving others, because forgiveness comes with loving yourself in season and out of season, because you may be going through it. Like I said, you may be in your healing season. If you don't understand the importance of forgiveness, baby, you're going to be stuck in this healing season for a long, 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 long time, because your growth comes with forgiveness. Your maturity comes with forgiveness. Your elevation comes with forgiveness. Ask me how I know. I had to understand that things may not have went right. You know, I can't just neglect myself. I have to learn that I got to take care of me. You know, I gotta treat myself. I'm a whole single lady out here in these streets. So in order for me to understand what I'm looking for in a partner, what I want to have in my partner, what I want, you know, the attributes that I want them to have, the aspirations that I want them to have, the mindset that I want them to have, the personal development that I want to see within them, I have to become that person for myself, because it's going to be real hard for you to recognize when you got a real one on your hands, because you're going to sabotage it, because you're not going to know what it looks like. So in order for you to attract what you're looking for, you have to learn how to become what you want. You know what I mean? It's like I saw a video one time and it said, in order for you to Make a list of your person. Make a list of who you want to date, who you want to be with. Da 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 da. The whole little 9 yards. Make a list of all of that. And what you do is, instead of looking for those attributes in somebody, become what you wrote down. Become who you would like. If you can't date you, if you don't want to date yourself, who else gonna want to date you? That's what I had to learn how to ask myself going through my healing season. I wasn't someone that I wanted to date because I wasn't taking care of me the right way. I wasn't loving me properly. I had to go through my healing season. I had to learn how to sit in my emotions and stop avoiding them. I hated being in silence. I hated being by myself. I hated sitting in a room with, in quietness. I hated it because it made me think. I was able to hear more. My sense of hearing and discernment was keen, and I could hear things. I can navigate through my mind and understand what I was listening to, and I could break down so much. I hated being in a quiet space because it left me alone to think about the things that I had done, the things that I had went through, the things that I have not dealt with, the things that I needed to heal from, the things that I hadn't processed yet. And it made me process every single thing. And when I came to realize that God did that on purpose, it brought me to my growing season. It brought me to know that I am able to embrace discomfort as a part of my journey. In order for you to love yourself in season and out of season, you have to embrace the journey of growing. You have to embrace the discomfort because it's not going to be easy. It's going to get rough for a minute. It's gonna get rough, and you gotta learn how to tell yourself, like, all right, okay, you done started your healing. Now you on to your growing. What's next? You gotta embrace that journey. You gotta learn. Again, I cannot say this enough. You have to learn how to speak life over yourself. Okay. And let me just give you a little listen, because I'm finna tell on myself. I don't mind telling on myself because I snitch on me real quick. So today was a really, really hard day. I had to attend a funeral today. Really hard. Been up since crack of dawn, right? And running. Had to go, travel to go to that. Had to go sing to that. Da 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 da. And I got home, and it felt like every piece of energy just left my body. Like I was tired. And I'm like, Lord, I can't do this tonight. I can't. You pick me up next week. I need my rest. I need my break. And I called my best friend, and their subtle way of encouragement was, I don't know what you got to do. I don't know where you need to pull it from, but I'm gonna need for you to go pull some energy because you still got to show up. You got a job. You have something to do. You have an assignment, and sometimes your assignment means that you got to show up tired. And what that did, it made me sit for the next 5 to 10 minutes, really reevaluating of how much I cannot afford to drop the ball on me anymore. I have dropped the ball so much on myself that in this season that I'm going through, I cannot afford to do that again because I am the only me that I have. And if I don't show up for what my purpose is, if I don't show up for my assignment, it ain't going to get done. Right. And I have to make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing when I'm supposed to be doing it, regardless of what. I may have bags under my eyes. I may be up here yawning. I may be tired. You just seen at the beginning, if you were here at the beginning of the show, y'all seen Christian sitting on my lap. I am a single mother with a whole 5-year-old. I got 2 grown kids, and I got this little baby down here. I have no season. This is not the season for excuses for me. It's no room for excuses. And that is what I understood, that comes with knowing how to love me and who I am in this season. So I'm embracing what most people would be like, oh, you got your kids in the back. Yes, I got my kids in the back. Because if you don't know nothing about me, you know that I am who I am. I'm Jasmine D Milledge. I'm myself. Before I'm anything, I'm me because I am who God created. But second and foremost, I am a mother. I am a mother, right? Y'all know as y'all, some of y'all like to gracefully call him. Y'all know little Bishop, and he be running through here. So I have to know that I gotta show up because there are people that God has attached to me to get to him. So at the end of the day, I have to realize that it ain't about me. Like I said last week, it's not about me. And that's knowing that brings me joy. If I can be clear, that brings me joy. That makes me love me even more because I'm showing up and who he called me to be. It makes me feel like I can really do this thing, right? And it reminds me of a scripture that we all, well, I listen. I'm just learning this stuff again, myself. See, I'm doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? So I have to understand that he's doing a new season in my life. This is a new thing in my life. Yeah, this is still the Fly Show, but the Fly Show is a little bit different from what it used to be. It has a whole new vibe to it. And I know that I can do this. And what it also made me understand is that when I'm going through my growing season, I may also have to wait sometimes because sometimes things may feel stagnant. Sometimes things may feel like you're in a trap, like you're stuck in something. Sometimes you don't know how to affirm your worth outside of being in a relationship or being the show up girl or being in front or being the leader or being the one that's getting all the recognition and getting all the attention. Sometimes it ain't your season to get recognized. It ain't your season to be in the front. It ain't your season to be in the limelight. And guess what? Get somewhere and sit down and help somebody else. Learn how to serve when it ain't your season. I don't know where that came from or who that was for, but learn how to serve when it's not your season. In order for you to be who you are, you still have to learn how to serve. Because if anything know anything about the good Lord above that sits on high and look down low, he is a servant. Jesus served. You understand me? So you have to learn how to serve when you're waiting. So don't be waiting with your hands tied behind your back and your head hung low and your chest and your mouth all poked out. Learn how to wait with a heart of servitude. Find joy and fulfillment with knowing that you're in your waiting season. My pastor always like to say that my first lady told him, enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. Don't find detriment in the journey. Don't find impatience in the journey. Don't find sadness in the journey. And if you do, yeah, you're going to come upon it. You're going to be sad. You're going to be angry. You're going to be hurt. You're going to be feeling like, the air got deflated out of your balloon. Of course you're going to feel like that because you're human. But what you have to understand is sometimes waiting is where you're supposed to be working. Will you look at that? Sometimes you have to work while you're waiting in whatever capacity that looks like. When you wake up in the morning, God, I know I'm waiting. God, I may not have what I want. What am I supposed to be doing in this season? If he tells you to sit still and don't move, then you sit still and don't move. But if he tells you, I need you to go talk to that lady right over there in that red shirt, then you go talk to that lady over there in that red shirt. If he tells you, I need you to speak this word, I need you to open your mouth and speak that word. Understand? Yes. Huh? See? 5-year-old. You got to learn how to embrace everything in your journey because what I cannot take away, I can't take away my baby. This is my baby. So you got to learn how to work. You got to learn how to work while you're waiting. Learn how to work while you're waiting. Understand that. So I got a question for you. Because we're going to be engaging this thing tonight. we gonna be engaging this thing tonight. Hey, Christian. Okay, so question: which season do you feel like you're in? You ain't got to put it in the chat. You ain't got to respond out loud unless you're just, bold and comfortable enough to do that. Do you feel like you're in your growing season? Do you feel like you're in your waiting season? Or do you feel like you're in your healing season? Or you may be in your thriving season. Which one do you feel like you're in? Are you thriving? Are you healing? Are you growing? Or are you waiting? Which season do you feel like you're in this moment? And while you're thinking about it and while you're pondering on it, just to share a little bit, of a personal testimony, because y'all know, again, I'm transparent. I ain't got nothing to hide, nothing to defend, nothing to protect. I can't tell a lie if I tried. The only time I like to lie is when I'm doing a happy surprise for somebody. But other than that, baby, I ain't gonna lie at all, because I ain't got time. I don't have the mental capacity. I ain't got the space. And I ain't got time to remember what lie I told to keep up with that lie. Cause don't do it. Okay. Cause I ain't got time to lie. A moment that I struggled last night, my church, we had a women's event called Cherished and Chosen. The next time we have one, we gonna invite y'all. Okay. So it's called, and it's shameless plug, next Saturday, February the 22nd, real quick. Next Saturday, February the 22nd, we are having a conference at my church. Women, children, men. We're having different sessions and classes for everybody. So if you don't have anything to do, feel free to come out. My church is in Conley, Georgia. If you're in the Atlanta metro area, it's in Conley. It's on Saturday, February the 22nd, at 11 a.m. So it's at 4121 Thurman Drive, Conley, Georgia, at Memorial Church of God in Christ. Okay, plug over. All right. So I see a lot of thriving, growing, waiting, healings. These are the seasons that you're in. Yesterday we had an event, a women's event called Cherished and Chosen, and it was a game that we had to play. We had to find your matching heart, put the heart together, and answer the question. And our question that me and my partner had was, what is one thing that you love about yourself now that it took you so long to appreciate? And my answer was, it took me a long time for me to appreciate my voice. I know I've shared this story with a couple people privately, but it took me so long to appreciate my voice. And that means my talking voice and my singing voice. My parents, especially specifically my mom, didn't know that I could sing until I was well in my 20s. Okay. I never sang publicly until I was in my 30s. Never, right? I would walk around the house, hum, sing all day long. And it's at 12 p.m. Thank you. Um, I could not stand my voice. And it took me so long to appreciate my voice. It took me so long to, I completely honest, I hated me partially because of my voice. Because what I felt like I sounded like my dad. My voice is kind of bassy a little bit, like a little, like a little bass in my voice or whatnot. I couldn't stand my voice. I listen, I could not stand it. But as I got older, as I started going through, different trials and testimony, test trials and tribulations, I had to know and understand that there's no other voice like mine. I was in this women's organization called the CEO District, and they used to call me, what was it, Kelly? Kelly, what was it? Sister Cognac. Because my voice was so smooth. They would say, your voice is so smooth. And like, I have a voice for radio. People would say, you got a voice that could demand the attention of a room. And it wasn't to I guess fluff me up a little bit like that. But what I started doing was I started listening to myself. Like, I would do a show and wouldn't even go back and listen to it because I ain't like how I sound. Honestly speaking, like, sometimes I still struggle with my voice. And In my growing season and in my waiting and in my healing, when I started when I started learning how to love me, when I started learning how to appreciate who I was as a woman and appreciate who I am as a person, that came with me embracing my voice. That came with me accepting the fact that ain't now other voice out here like your girls. Okay. And it makes me excited that God created me just the way I am. And he gives me the ability to love on myself every single day. So when I'm up in my prayer, I pray out loud. I used to pray in my head because I ain't like how I sound when I pray. I used to write my prayers down because I didn't want to hear myself talk. And you know that is a trick of the enemy that wants you to be quiet and wants you to shut up and don't want you to use your gift. He doesn't want you to do anything. He doesn't want you to be who you are. That is the trick of the enemy. He comes to steal, kill, and destroy. He tried to steal my voice. He tried to steal my mindset and destroy who I was as a person. But we all know that the devil is a liar. So I had to learn how to practice ways on loving myself every single day. And I started that with just praying, with just talking and just having regular conversations. You know, I know I like to tell you to learn how to speak daily affirmations over yourself, and I stand by that. Does it take time to get it in your mind? Do you have some moments where you may not believe what you're saying? Absolutely. But what you do is you continue to keep going. You don't quit. Invest in the things that bring you joy and bring you growth. Surround yourself with people that will pour into you and not continue to snatch. Because but here's the thing though, the powerful thing is when you're getting poured into, specifically by yourself, what you're giving out to everybody else is the overflow. Because when you're taking out of your cup to pour into someone else's, you're depleting what you have. So what you're giving should be the overflow. It shouldn't be me draining out my cup in order to fill you up, because that's not how that works. It's supposed to be me not taking from my house to fill yours, but it's if I can afford to give it. If I can't afford to give me to nobody else, then I'm gonna sit over here and hold on to what I got. And I hope you get that analogy. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. If I can't afford to pour out to nobody else, I'm not going to open my mouth and say anything. I will say a prayer for you, but sometimes I may not be able to speak anything over you because I just don't have it to give, right? Sometimes it's okay for you to just sit there in silence with somebody. Sit there in silence with yourself and just appreciate the moment. So practice, start practicing different ways that you can love yourself in season and out of season. Know how to keep yourself flowing. Know how to keep yourself filled, whether it's with spending time with God, spending time in prayer, worship, going out, going for a walk, doing whatever that brings you joy and that brings you happiness. That's what you have to do. So my next question is, and because this is a very I like to be interactive. I want you to think about things. I want to ask you a thought-provoking question that makes you look at, what am I actually doing out here? Yeah, I may be living the life that I want to live. I may be, living it up or whatever the case may be, but am I living it to my fullest potential? So answer this. What is one self-love practice that you can commit to this week? You ain't got to put it in the chat. If you're taking notes, take a note. Write it down. Put it on your phone. What is one self-love practice that you can commit to this week? What is one self-love practice that you can commit to this week? And here's my challenge for the week. Every single week, I'm going to end this with a challenge. My challenge for this week to you is to write a love letter to yourself. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day, the infamous love day of the year, which you should be practicing every single day of your life. But my challenge to you is to write a love letter to yourself. And I said a love letter. Write a love letter to yourself. Read it to yourself. Fold it up. If you want to do something fancy, put it in an envelope, sign a little name on it, and act surprised when you open it up and just sit and read it. Get you a good cup of coffee, light your little candle, get your little bouquet of flowers or whatever you want to do. Go to the park, go out to dinner, go for a walk, or if you just want to sit in your living room and read what you wrote, do that. But write a love letter to yourself this week. Matter of fact, do it tomorrow because today is Thursday. The week is almost over with. Write a love letter to yourself. If you're single, if you're married, write one to your spouse. Tell your spouse how much you mean to them. Tell you how much you mean to yourself. It is better to pour love out. I can't even say it's better to give love than to receive it because it's best to give love and receive it, in my personal opinion. But write a love letter to yourself. Write a love letter to your spouse. Tell somebody that you love them. Tell somebody that how much you appreciate them. Life is so up and down right now. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what it's going to be looking like today. We don't know what it's going to be looking like tomorrow. Love on yourself and love on others. Okay? And repeat after me. I am loved, worthy, and whole. Not just on special occasions, but in every season of my life. I commit to loving myself fully, just as God loves me. That is your daily affirmation for the F.L.Y show tonight. I am loved, I am worthy, and I am whole. Not just on special occasions, but in every season of my life. I commit to loving myself fully, just as God loves me. And if you do this, you already know what it's going to be. It's going to be F.L.Y. It's going to be you first loving you in season and out of season. All right. So thank you all so much for tuning in with me here on the F.L.Y show, where I am your host, Jazzy D Mills, and you can catch me here next week at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And make sure you tune in because next week is going to get a little spicy. It's going to be a little, I hope you're ready because next week I'm going to have my special guest, Miss Reagan Adams. She is the CEO of Patches in Perspective, all things Reagan, Dating is Dead, Who Killed It, all the things. So we are going to be keeping it live, raw, but saved. All right. So make sure you catch us back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, this is the F.L.Y show where the F.L.Y stands for First Love You. And remember to first love you because you absolutely deserve it. Good night, everybody.
I'll be your temple. I'll be your sanctuary. You can come dwell here. Won't you come and flow?